This country has a serious cop problem, but we know it's never going to be resolved. Never. These cops, in my opinion, many of them are worse than the actual criminal. They are, because they get to hide behind the badge while they commit crimes, which makes them worse, in my opinion. 15 black men charged with drug offenses have all charges dropped after being allegedly framed by corrupt detective. Unbelievable. 15 African American men who say they were framed by a corrupt Chicago police officer and his team have all charges against them dropped. Prosecutors said they were vacating all charges against the men who were arrested by officers led by former Police Sergeant Ronald Watts. They said it was the first mass exoneration in the history of Cook County, which covers Chicago and the surrounding area. The Exoneration Project, a free legal clinic at the University of Chicago Law School, which represented the men, said all 15 were convicted of drug crimes between 2003 and 2008 and have all served their respective sentences. In September, the men filed a lawsuit seeking to have their convictions overturned, claiming they had been framed by Watts, who was convicted in 2013 for stealing money from a drug courier who had been working as an FBI informant. Oh, damn, he's stupid. Among those whose conviction thrown out was Taurus Smith, who was 17 when he was first arrested and thrown in jail for a year. Speaking to The Independent from Chicago, Mr. Smith said it felt great that his innocence had been recognized. He said he was trying to get his life back on track and find a job. I was in jail for a year. It was really scary. I was just a kid, and you hear all these stories about what it'll be like, he said. Asked how he got through his time in custody, he said, family and friends and praying. The Chicago Police Department has long the target of accusations of abuse and mistreatment of suspects of color. Earlier this year, the Department of Justice issued a scathing 164-page report that concluded the city's officers were poorly trained and quick to turn to deadly and excessive force. Lawyer Joshua Tipfer of the Exoneration Project said it was the first time that there had been a mass exoneration of suspects in the city. It's historic. It's never happened before, he said. The clearing of the 15 men on Thursday marked the third day in succession that prosecutors at the Leighton Criminal Building in Chicago dropped charges because of alleged police misconduct. And I guess this is the picture of the 15 men. Wow. On Wednesday, Jose Masonet, 49, walked free after 27 years behind bars for conviction of a double murder prosecutors believe they could not longer rely on. The Chicago Tribune said on Tuesday 66-year-old Arthur Brown was set free after serving 27 years for murder. Once again, prosecutors said they had deep concerns about the fairness of his conviction. That doesn't make any sense. It took you 29 years to have doubt, and this other guy, 27 years. It took you that long to realize the evidence was not reliable. Oh, this is disgusting. Watts was jailed in 2013 after he and other officers, Khalat Mohammed, were strongly criticized by the judge who heard their case. U.S. District Judge Sharon Johnson Coleman said the behavior of Watts, who is himself African American, was a betrayal of both his community and other officers. It doesn't matter if he's a black cop, because many of the black cops in this country are also indoctrinated into going out here and harassing and abusing their own people. So he gets no pass. Definitely not from me. She said his actions were particularly shocking because he took advantage of a part of the community already struggling with poverty and crime. Watts has since been released from jail. They need to stomp his ass out on the streets. You were a sergeant operating in a community that should hold you up as an example, says the judge. You need to protect those people, and you didn't. So it doesn't matter. We know black cops, or many of them on the streets, are corrupt too. I mean, it doesn't make any difference, but it's amazing. He got to abuse his authority for a long time, and he just had a little short run in jail. Woo, I tell you, this country really sucks when it comes down to justice. It really does. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. And don't forget to hit on that notification bell. Peace, family.